Hello, friends. Welcome into the Cowboys Report, an unexpected live video for you guys approaching 10 p.m. Eastern time because, and this is not an April Fool's joke, the Cowboys have signed Aldon Smith. Yes, I am also surprised and confused and maybe even dazed and confused by this news. We'll break down all of it. We'll get to your questions and your comments as well because I, too, am surprised by this move. Here's what we know about this. In fact, it's not fake news. This has actually happened. It's a one-year deal worth up to $4 million with the Dallas Cowboys. There is a $2 million base and $2 million via incentives for Aldon Smith. And that deal will only start if and, of course, when Aldon Smith is reinstated by the NFL, which this is not what I thought was going to happen. Now, at some level, it does make a little bit of sense because, as we'll dive into more in depth, Jim Tomsula, who, of course, was with the 49ers for a long time with one Aldon Smith, when Aldon Smith had his best seasons in the NFL, well, he is the new Cowboys defensive line coach. And Aldon Smith now joins Dallas. And I am a little surprised that it is a $4 million max deal. Was there really that much interest in a player who hasn't played since 2015 in the NFL? So let me get your one-word reactions, and I'll give some shout-outs here as well to Aldon Smith signing. I do believe, by the way, that WTF counts as one word, or at least it will be for this purposes, because that was my exact reaction. I was not anticipating this. This is clearly Jim Tomsula saying, hey, I can get the most out of this guy. I got him almost 20 sacks back in his prime, but I was not ready for this. This is a guy who hasn't played in 2015. I see bruh, I see why, I see okay, I see fools, question mark. No, it's not April Fools, guys. This is a real thing. Aldon Smith is now a member of the Dallas Cowboys. Shocker, that's a good one. Confused, upside, major. Shocked, also, all very good ones. Now, I saw several of you mention this in the comments section, that Aldon Smith had 19.5 sacks all the way back in 2012. It's quite a while ago. That was his best season. That's back when Aldon Smith was one of the best players, quite frankly, and one of the best edge rushers in the entirety of the NFL. He was great that year with Jim Tomsula and that 3-4 defense. Now he comes to the Cowboys as they continue to develop to be a more multiple team. And I would venture to say if Aldon Smith plays this year, as a reminder, this, because I know a lot of you guys are coming in right now here, Aldon Smith only gets paid if he's reinstated. Clearly, the Cowboys think they're going to have a reinstated Aldon Smith on this roster with DeMarcus Lawrence as one. They're probably going to keep Tyron Crawford. Maybe there's a restructure there as well. Randy Gregory also back. I think you guys can think of some great nicknames for that duo of Aldon Smith and Randy Gregory. Dorrance Armstrong is still there. I put Joe Jackson at defensive tackle just so I could get him on this list. Jalen Jelks is also still a defensive end. So Aldon Smith comes in having not played since 2015. He's now, I believe, 30 years old. Again, the details. 1 year, $4 million. $2 million base, $2 million via incentives. I don't really know why the Cowboys felt they needed to give Aldon Smith $2 million. That's not that much in the end, but I was kind of surprised as to how Aldon Smith got so much, having not played since 2015. Clearly, he wants to be back with Jim Tomsula. It's just unexpected for the Cowboys to sign a guy who hasn't played since 2015. And he hasn't played since 2015 because Aldon Smith has dealt with a litany of off-the-field issues that make Randy Gregory and even David Irving look like model citizens, if we're being honest here. 2012, DUI. 2012 in June, stabbed twice during a fight. 2013, another DUI in possession. October of 2013, there were weapon charges. And then that wasn't even the other issue he had. Now, this was back in 2013. The Niners were able to reactivate him because there's all kinds of stuff going on. 2014, there was a bomb threat at LAX because he made a stupid joke. So then a day later, the Niners suspend him, and then the NFL comes back in August of that year, suspend him for 9 games. Then he comes back in November of 2014. He comes back to the 49ers. He doesn't even go a full year. August 7th, there's a DUI and a hit and run. The Niners cut him that day on August 2015 because they were just done with all the off-the-field stuff. The Raiders end up picking him up in September 2015. He's suspended by the NFL for 1 year in November after briefly playing for the now Las Vegas Raiders, then the Oakland Raiders. In April 4th, the Raiders bring him back, but the NFL denied his reinstatement. He was eventually cut on March 5th, 2018. And I think there was another 2018 incident as well. The report from the Cowboys is that all of his tests have been clean since then, and he's back on the straight and narrow. So is Aldon Smith worth the risk? Type Y for yes, type N for no. As I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I don't know why the Cowboys did this. I get that they think they might be able to get a 30-year-old edge rusher who can help you out there because it's certainly a big-time need for you. Maybe you didn't think that the Cowboys were able to get Kayvon Chasen in round 1 and you were concerned about that. And maybe you're thinking that, well, if I have one Aldon Smith and one Randy Gregory, maybe both of those guys with all the off-the-field stuff they've gone through, maybe it works out in the end for the Dallas Cowboys. So keep your votes coming. Y for yes, N for no. I don't know. Like, I don't know how much sense this makes. This might not work out at all. Now, in reality, the Cowboys don't have to pay him unless he's reinstated. And if he is reinstated and he plays at that level he was in his prime, well, that's great, right? But there's some risk involved here. In reality, I would call it only $2 million of risk, but like, I don't know. I didn't anticipate this coming, especially not tonight here on April Fool's Night. Like, that's just not what I thought was going to end up happening here. The Cowboys have always been super aggressive and risky. I mean, they signed Greg Hardy. He's not coming back. I wouldn't anticipate David Irving coming back either because there were some just effort issues there. Look, Aldon Smith, he knows Jim Tomsula. Clearly, Tomsula has influence, as many of the assistant coaches do within the organization, as has been the past there. So he comes in. So keep your votes coming. Y for yes, N for no. I will accept any and all answers because I don't know what to do on this one. Again, for those of you just now tuning in, this is not April Fool's. This is real. The Cowboys have added Aldon Smith on a 1-year, $4 million deal. Now, this deal has a $2 million base. It's also got $2 million via incentives, and that deal will only start if and when Aldon Smith is reinstated. Clearly, the Cowboys think he's going to be reinstated. Of course, he hasn't played since the 2015 season. It has been quite a while since Aldon Smith was actually out on an NFL field. In the end, maybe this is just like, why not? Like, why not do this move if you're the Cowboys? Like, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. I was caught off guard by this move. Maybe it's low risk, high reward, but the reward hasn't been seen for Aldon Smith since 2017 or 2013, excuse me. It's been 7 years. So I was a little surprised it wasn't a veteran minimum deal, to be quite honest. I was a little surprised that he was able to get a $2 million base. That's noteworthy to me that maybe there was more interest in Aldon Smith. We've seen his great play. Back when he was on the straight and narrow back in that 2012 season, he was awesome. He balled out. He was great. But the risk here is that Aldon Smith gets into trouble again because there's always a defensive line, right? It's always the D line that ends up getting in trouble for the Dallas Cowboys for whatever reason. The upside is you somehow get 2012 Aldon Smith. For the record, I am not anticipating 2012 Aldon Smith. I don't think that's fair to Aldon. I don't think that's fair to the Cowboys. I just think that's an unrealistic expectation. But if you can get 5 sacks, 6 sacks, hey, isn't that worth it in the end? As long as Aldon Smith stays out of trouble and you have a good plan for him, like, that's key for the Cowboys. You have to make sure that Aldon Smith isn't causing issues in your locker room in terms of getting in trouble, putting a bad light on the organization. That's all important. So he comes into the Cowboys, and again, 2012, it's not going to happen. I don't think you're going to get that. But if I can get 6 sacks, 5 sacks, is that unrealistic? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if you can pull that off, I think that's fairly noteworthy in the end for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so we have a deal for you guys as well. Jerseys are on sale on Fanatics. Head over to chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. That's chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. We'll put that link in the comments, in the description as well. Get it for you guys in there. It is chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey, up to 20% off if you use that link. And heck, if you want to make a custom-made Aldon Smith one, you can do that right now because the custom jerseys are also on sale. That is chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. Chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. So go check that out for the Cowboys. All kinds of jerseys are available on sale. Go check it out today at chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. Again, those are up to 20% off. Chatsports.com/Cowboys jersey. That link right now, I see it, is in the comments and it's in the description as well. Again, Aldon Smith has joined the Dallas Cowboys. He has not played since 2015. Here's why, and this is important to mention because normally 19-sack players aren't available for $4 million unless there's something wrong. And for Aldon Smith, it has been a litany of off-the-field issues, multiple DUI arrests, 2012 and 2013, weapons charges in 2013 as well, a bomb threat in 2014. He was suspended multiple times by the 49ers, by the NFL. There was a DUI hit and run back in 2015 led to the Niners choosing to release him. The Raiders picked him up to keep him, I guess, around in the Bay Area. That, of course, did not work out, was suspended by the NFL after barely playing in that 2015 season. The Raiders brought him back in 2016. That's what happened on that front. The NFL did not allow him to be reinstated. The Raiders finally released his rights back in 2018. I think there was a 2019 incident as well. That's significant. That's all that's going on there with Aldon Smith. And we will see the exact contract details. I haven't yet seen a guaranteed price tag yet for Aldon Smith. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. I'm sure it'll come out in the very near future regardless. But let me know in the comments, folks, how shocked are you by this deal? I was eating dinner when this went down. So let me know on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are completely shooketh and you did not see this one coming whatsoever, 1 being that, oh, you totally saw it coming. You knew this was going to happen in the NFL. I also want to make note here as your votes come in, there is no guaranteed money. There's no guaranteed money involved in this deal, so it's probably all just base salary. That does make me feel better about it. So it's a 1 year, I'll call it a $2 million deal, no guaranteed money with an extra $2 million on top of that in incentives. So that's the contract details for Aldon Smith. But yes, I am surprised by this. Like, I guess they're going to potentially let DeMarcus Lawrence and Gregory and Aldon Smith all hang out together and try and get to the quarterback there off the edge. And maybe now you try and approach Crawford about a pay cut, but I don't really think that's the path they're going to go right now, because certainly you're not going to be able to truly bank on either Aldon Smith or Randy Gregory from that perspective. So we'll have to wait and see what that looks like. But at least now you have the potentiality of upside and pressure and all of that. I do feel better that there's no guarantee deal. That's important to me. And this defensive line looking a whole lot different than what it did even just before free agency began. All kinds of changes. So again, I know there are a lot of you guys coming in right now. Here are the details on Aldon Smith. First off, it's not April Fool's. This is real. 1 year deal worth up to $4 million. There is no guaranteed money involved. It's a $2 million base salary and an extra $2 million on top of that via incentives, probably sack related. Maybe there's just some active game bonuses as well. Any incentive for Aldon Smith will not count as likely to be earned because he didn't play last year. So there's nothing to base it on. So all incentives are not going to be likely to be earned, which means it won't count against the cap this season. Those incentives could only come next year. But Aldon, though, hasn't played since 2015. So I don't quite know where we're going to be in terms of what he brings to the Cowboys, having not played in several years. Now, if you guys are stuck at home, or better yet, being safe at home, I appreciate that. We are posting daily Cowboys videos for you guys. So hit that big red button and subscribe today. We are live right now breaking down the Aldon Smith signing. I don't know how happy my wife is, because I think she would prefer me, spending time with her. But I'm bringing the information to you guys because this is kind of a big deal for the Cowboys. So if you have not subscribed already, hit that big red button. We are not going anywhere. We've got rumors, news, a live Q&A coming up here in just a second as well. I know there are some super chats, so we'll get to that as well. But hit that big red button and subscribe today. Hey Cowboys fans, thanks for watching the Cowboys Report. If you haven't already, click right here to subscribe to our channel for all the best Cowboys coverage on the internet. That's news, rumors, highlights, mailbags, film studies, and a whole lot more. And I'm making your lives a little bit easier as well with the next Cowboys Report video right here.